welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's talk about something that's happening right now in offices all over the world. It's this quiet revolution where hours and hours of really tedious data work are just shrinking into moments of genuine insight. And this isn't some small software update. We're talking about a massive, fundamental shift in how we get answers from data. And it's all being powered by AI.
So let me start with this idea. What if, instead of wrestling with lines and lines of complicated code, you could just talk to your data? Ask it a question in plain English. And what if it didn't just spit out a number, but it actually talked back? Like, hey, that's a good question, but have you thought about looking at it this way? Sounds a little like sci-fi, right? Well, that's the new reality we're going to unpack today.
To really get why this is such a game changer, you have to meet our hero. Let's just call them the Data Pro. This person is a mix of a data analyst, a data scientist, and a business strategist all rolled into one. Their job is absolutely critical for any modern company, but they are up against a huge, huge challenge. You see, for so long, data analysis has been all about being reactive. It's kind of like trying to drive a car by only looking in the rearview mirror. You get a dashboard that tells you, hey, sales dropped last week, which, is useful, but it's too late. The real goal, the holy grail for pretty much any business, is to be proactive, to use that data to see the problems coming and get ahead of them. But man, getting there has been so hard. The old workflow for our data pro is just a mountain of manual work. We're talking slow, painful coding, trying to juggle a bunch of different complex tools, and then waiting hours, sometimes days, for just one answer. And all the important knowledge, it's buried in some document somewhere. The whole thing is so difficult, it creates this massive bottleneck that only a few specialists can get through. So how does our hero possibly conquer this mountain? Well, they get a sidekick, an AI-powered assistant that's built right into their workflow. And this is key. It's not some other program you have to open up. It's a collaborator that's just there, always ready to help. The best way to think about it is like this. This isn't about replacing the expert. Not at all. It's about augmenting them. It's like giving them a super smart tutor who's sitting right there with them, who can instantly break down confusing code or even spark new ideas for questions they hadn't considered. It just makes our data pros faster, smarter, and way more effective. Okay, so how does this partnership actually play out? Well, the very first superpower the AI assistant gives you is the ability to just understand the data you'll already have, instantly. And trust me, this is often the biggest roadblock for any new project. Just picture it. Our hero is new to a project, and they find this really important piece of SQL code that some person who left the company 2 years ago wrote. It's long, it's complicated, and there are 0 comments explaining what it does. The old way? They'd have to spend their whole morning, maybe longer, just picking it apart. But now, they can just ask. And boom, instantly, the AI gives them a perfect, simple, plain English summary of what's going on. A task that could have eaten up half their day is now done in seconds. I mean, that's the immediate payoff right there. The barrier to just understanding your own data completely vaporizes, and our hero can get straight to the good stuff, the insights. This just completely transforms the entire workflow. It stops being about coding and starts being about conversation. Step 1, you ask a question like a normal human. Step 2, the AI handles all the complex code in the background. Step 3, you get your insights right away. Compared to that mountain of manual work we talked about, it's a totally different world. All right, so our hero can now understand the past and the present in seconds. It's time to level up. It's time to tackle that proactive goal, predicting the future. And that means diving into machine learning, a field that until now was pretty much off limits unless you are a dedicated specialist with weeks of free time. And the difference here is just staggering, seriously. Building a traditional machine learning model to forecast sales, that could take a whole team weeks of prepping data, writing code, testing, and validating. With an AI assistant, you can crush that entire process down into a few minutes, all from a single, simple request. And what does that request look like? Is it pages of dense Python code? Nope. It's this. A single sentence written in plain English. Our hero just tells the AI what model to use and what they need to see. This is exactly how incredibly powerful tech becomes useful for everybody, not just the specialists. So just how fast are we really talking here? Well, in one real-world example, an analyst started with a data set they had never even seen before. They built a fully working sales forecasting model in 15 minutes. Just think about that for a second. 15 minutes. Less time than it takes to get a coffee. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a genuine quantum leap in productivity. So, our hero can understand the past. They can predict the future, but the journey's not quite over. The final and maybe most important step is turning all that data and all those predictions into smart, real-world business decisions. This is the moment where the data pro really becomes a strategic partner.
And they do this using a really cool technique called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. The idea is actually pretty simple. If you ask a standard AI a question about your business, it's just going to guess based on its general knowledge of the world. But with RAG, you first give the AI access to your company's own private library, all your documents, your reports, your data. The AI reads all of your stuff first, and then it answers your question. It basically becomes a true expert on your business, not just any business.
And once you have that capability, the whole conversation changes. Our hero isn't asking, what does this code do anymore? Look at this prompt. They're giving strategic commands now. They're asking the AI to put on a different hat, to think like a creative brand strategist, and turn raw data into a full-blown marketing plan. And look at the result. It's not just more data, it's a clear, actionable plan. The AI takes these abstract customer groups, gives them fun, creative personas like the loyal luxuries or the everyday enthusiasts, and even suggests the exact next marketing step for each one. A task that used to take weeks of meetings between different teams is now done in seconds. It's the perfect bridge between insight and action. So our data pro's transformation is complete. They went from being a reactive analyst who was always bogged down in manual tasks to being a proactive, strategic partner to the business. They're not just reporting on what happened yesterday. They are actively shaping what their company is going to do tomorrow.
And this all leaves us with one last really interesting question to think about. If the AI is the assistant, if it's handling the coding, the summarizing, even the brainstorming, what is the new role for the human expert? Well, maybe their job shifts. Maybe it's less about doing the manual work and more about asking the right questions. It's about guiding the strategy with a layer of business context, wisdom, and intuition that no AI can replicate. The assistant can find the answers, but the expert knows what to do with them.